Hello, my name is Raymond Karchevsky. I am a living Christ. Today I should like to comment upon the presidential debate held tonight. It's all a fiction. You're all being conditioned, hypnotized by the media, experts at mind control, through hypnotic suggestion, through the bandying about of words, concepts, fictions of the intellectual mind, and that is what rules life on Earth, civilized life on Earth. It's all satanic. It's a big statement to make. Stick with me. Let's take a look at and see whether you agree with what you had believed in prior to the debate tonight, after what I say about it. I speak to the winds. What does that mean? I speak truth. Non-dualistic energy of what is, uncontaminated by the intellect, the satanic, divisive intellect, which separates all into divisions of the you, the ego, and the not you, the projection of the ego. You see, in effect, I am describing to you your life. Now, many of you will be outraged. Many of you will, by the end of this video, be very angry, because you will have been discovered to be a patsy, a victim of mind control. All your life, started as children, continues until you die. Usually a broken old man or an old woman who's had their fill of the conflict of life and is ready to leave it all. That's what death is to most of you. And while you're living, you're angry. You're confused. Why? Because you have been led down the garden path, the satanic garden path of dualism, the fictional world that is created by the intellect. Now, why is this living Christ not acceptable to you? Why does he hurt your feelings? Why does he make you angry? Because he speaks to the winds. He doesn't speak to anyone in conflict, in argument, in debate. He's not trying to convince you of anything. He's just speaking truth. And that truth has the power to withstand all of the attacks and violence that the intellect can muster. The institutions of government, of religion, they're all intellectual inventions. They're all subject to your intellect. You create them, but you create them in a dualistic manner. What does that mean? A complicated system of thought comes with everything that you speak of in your intellect. For you are divided, you are in opposition within yourself, and you project that opposition outwardly in all your relationships. Now, why isn't this living Christ acceptable to you? Because he's non-dualistic, he's balanced. He will use the intellect in order to speak to you because that's all you know, words. But you'll notice that this man's words have a different energy to them. That energy is palpable. Oh, the Satanist among you, all of you, will rail over such a statement. And they will make up all kinds of reasons to debate, to conflict, to argue, to try and discredit what is said by a man who speaks not to you, but to the winds. And you, if you have the intelligence that you have gathered by many, many lives, you will grasp the energy of non-dualism, of truth, of what is. Now, in my many videos, over 25 years, I have laid down the reasons, the problem of living on this earth for all men, and that is not understanding who they are. You're still asking the question, who am I? And you're still asking the question, what is my purpose in life on earth? That means you're still confused. You're still searching. My videos answer that question in no uncertain terms. And you avoid them. You either avoid them or you are not being permitted to view them. Many of my videos are shadow banned. As soon as I create a video, it's banned. Although it shows up on my screen, it may not show up on your screen. Now, why is that? For the same reasons why I have been attacked by satanic forces for these past 25 years since I've been on the internet. And they have tried every trick in the book to destroy my credibility, to destroy my reputation. And they have failed. The proof is very clear. It's in the form of videos which are being censored. Or the view counter is being tampered with so as to not to show the actual interest of my videos by a worldwide audience, because they are limited to double-digit numbers going back to a year. Prior to that year, when I did not announce that I was a living Christ, the numbers of my videos went into the thousands, from thousands to double-digit numbers. Does that make sense to you? But you see, that's the only ploy they have to control the words of this living Christ. They're no different than the words of Jesus of Nazareth and many, many others not as well known to you as Jesus. For They were simple men and women of truth, as was Jesus, as am I. However, you are all trained to argue. As children, you are trained to a dualistic world, to a world of opposites, to a world of fiction. When I say fiction, I mean that there is no truth in your life. There is only the idea of truth that you hold, and then you define that word, and then you argue. You understand what just happened? You are in hell. Every damned one of you. Well, with the exception of very few. And as my stats on Patreon.com will show, there are merely 5 subscribers in a world of millions and millions of people who are suffering in this world. Now, tonight, on the presidential debate between President Donald J. Trump and the challenger, Joseph Biden, you saw 2 men, just like you, arguing, debating, caught in the thrust of dualism, satanic dualism. Yes, the whole promotion, the whole show, the whole creative performance was satanic. All of it. All a fiction. And it was made for your entertainment, to occupy your attention, and to persuade you by words, by ideas, by definitions. That's the satanic word that I speak of. Now I speak to you also words, that you also can notice that my energy is different. It's different from President Donald J. Trump, and notably different from Joseph Biden. How? I'm simple. I'm direct. I don't equivocate. I don't argue. Now, you will ask, how can you live that way in this world? And you're correct. Because you live in a satanic world of dualism, of intellectualism, of power, of separation, of the haves and the have-nots, and the manipulation by the masters over the victims. That's what hell's all about. Oh, these same masters of religion, for example, will create a fantasy of hell, call it hell. But that's just another fantasy. And you're comfortable with fantasy. You're comfortable with ideas. You can agree or disagree with them, because you feel that you are the creator of your world. And in fact, you are. But you're hampered by your own egos. And your egos are created by thoughts that have been hypnotized, spellbound. They have spellbound you to believe according to persuasions. And that's how you're controlled. That's how you, many of you, throughout the world, are starving. We here in America have great wealth. And we find that wealth is slipping away through the scam, the hoax of the coronavirus, the COVID-19. Just ideas. Ideas, that's all. Government, the debate. Ideas, that's all. They're fictions. And because they're fictions, they're not true. They're not whole, and therefore they can be debated. They can divide you into factions of opposites. And they do that. They do that very well. That's your world. You saw it very clearly in the debates tonight between President Donald J. Trump and Joseph Biden. How? They were talking over each other. Why? Why could not their words be spoken and grasped without all the misdirection, without all the confusion, without all of the exhibitions of power and counterpower? That's what you watched tonight. It's all you watched tonight. But you are the victims. You feel that they are smarter than you, they are more intelligent than you, and you consent to that lessening status, and you create your own world as a victim. There's nothing that makes you victimized but yourself. You consent to your victimization. I am proof of that. I was born poor, to a poor Polish family, the south side of Chicago. A Roman Catholic believing family. And I've tried my damnedest to understand what they saw. But all I saw was the fiction, the words, the ideas, the emotions. And my family, after I'm 83 years old, after my departure from the family at the age of 20, I left because it was impossible. I could not speak to my family. Why? I was in a different realm of consciousness. And that consciousness has been fully exposed on the internet in all of my many hundreds of videos. But the world of Satanism, which controls the media, which controls the internet, which controls the distribution of my book, Journey Beyond Thought, Breaking the Bonds of the Conditioned Mind, written some 25 years ago, which was attacked from the very beginning. I could not get distributors to distribute the book because the distributors were of the satanic bent. And they saw clearly that what I had to say was a threat to their very existence. I became a threat to government. And he tried to put me in prison for 40 years. And they convicted their fictitious defendant, the created straw man, by birth certification in 2 trials. Convicted that defendant, that fictitious character, and yet I refused to accept the sentence of the court. And I have proven that they had no jurisdiction, no judicial jurisdiction over me, because I was living, and they were dead. They were dead fictions. They were dead persons. They were dead corporations. They were dead government. They were dead religions. So what happened? When I showed that they did not prove, the courts I'm talking about now, the judges, all the lawyers, all the law enforcement agencies that worked in concert with each other to put me away, I proved that none of them, not a one, had jurisdiction over this living, breathing, flesh and blood man. And they do not have jurisdiction over you, all of you flesh and blood, sentient, natural men and women out there. However, you have given up your life. You've sold your soul. You've compromised yourself by accepting the education, the satanic education offered you by our schools. And that satanic realm extends to every aspect of civilized life. It's all a fiction. Your life is a fiction because you believe you were born. You believe that the life that you're leading will end. Death. You understand the fact of being born and being dead is a concept, a fiction. It's limited by time, by space, by linear perception. You see, the body, you're not your body, nor are you your mind. I know that. I live that, and that is what you perceive about this living man. You perceive the energy of this man as different. He does not argue. He will not debate. He will not try to convince you out of your confusion. He will lead you to where the truth is and allow you, in your own way, the freedom to liberate yourself, because that's who you truly are. You are the God that you pray to. So you pray to an idea. That's a false God. That's an idol. And even your first commandment contradicts itself when it says, "Thou shalt not worship strange gods before me." What the hell is not a strange god if not an idea of a god, rather than the what is of truth, of creator, that determines the what is, the fact, the love, the non-dualistic, cooperative, non-combatant energy that was obviously missing in tonight's debate. That debate was strictly dualistic, strictly satanic. And President Donald J. Trump and Joe Biden participated willingly in that fiction, a pretension, held before millions and millions of viewers. You, looking for entertainment, looking for information, looking for a story, because you're conditioned to storytelling. And what you have learned in school Hasn't left you at all. You're still the same child that you were spiritually, as you were when you became traumatized into being a dualistic, satanic entity, a fiction, a person. You understand? That's what you all are. You're persons living in a fictional world, governed by a fictional government or religion. It's all ideas that you hold in your satanically ruled, dualistic, divided and opposing intellect. That's what you call your life. That's what you call civilized life. What kind of life is it? Have you found peace? Have you found love? Have you found absolute security in understanding that you were responsible for the quality of your life? No one else but you. No, you gave all that away. And you became insecure. And you became fearful. And you became a victim of your own intellect. Millions of you have the opportunity to watch my more than 600 videos, but do you take it? Well, the view counter says no. It says only double-digit numbers of you, of a worldwide audience comprised of millions and millions and millions and millions of people. Now, look at the quality of your life. I don't live like you. No power, psychological, fictional power, satanic power has any control of this living man. My videos and my articles for the 25 years that have passed are proof of that. Why don't you recognize it? Why do you persist in holding on to your enslavement when I truly, in a spiritual, non-dualistic, subconscious way, am you? We are all one. We are God. Understand? It's only our intellectual mind that separates it into ideas that conflict, as was shown in the debate tonight. That debate should have opened your eyes, but I doubt that it will. You'll only get angry, because you'll be looking at me as saying I am calling you stupid. Do I need to do that? Or is it self-evident? Now, if you check my record, the fact that I have been asking for an investigation into the crimes that have been committed against this living, breathing flesh and blood man of truth, and have been denied by the fictional government. But the fictional government has such power over the minds of the masses, you, that it can run roughshod over any one individual and create the illusion that it has power. I know better. I'm living proof that I know better. Nowhere will you find a man better suited to speak the truth to you than I. But you'd rather tune into the debates and see two people arguing with each other, making a fool out of you.